Am I the only one?
Yes.
Yes, you're the other
are.
number 2. Wait a minute.
You're the married one, so you speak.
Speak on what?
You can talk from a different perspective though too.
They want me to speak. They want me to
Speak on marriage. You're married.
Would you encourage a 23 or thank you, Nancy. Would you encourage a 23 or 25-year-old to wait till they get married? Like, what's too young?
I think 25. I mean, it depends on if you got your life together. If the woman and the man have their life together, I think that is not an issue because that's all about marriage is having yourself together as well as your companion having themselves together. But in the same sense, it's many ways you can look at that though. You know, okay. Some people might be, oh, it's too young, I'm gonna wait till I'm 30, and then some people like, oh, I'm gonna have a dream wedding after I turn 21. So, you know, it's many cases you can look at it, but I mean, I personally do think that one, but
Are you proud of what you did?
I'm proud of what I did, and then on top of that, you know, I didn't have the average, you know, fairy tale wedding. You know, I love it. So, in the instance of that, is leading to, okay, did I make the right decision? Was I selfish? Should I have included, you know, everybody to be a part of that? But that was just the works of how things happen in your life. Because, you know, I had a plan. I had a wedding planned. I had the whole rundown. I had my colors laid out, my dress ready. But I wound up getting knocked up. So, and I was engaged before I got pregnant. See, that's what the difference is with that. Your life has ways of having, you know, obstacles to where you have one way, you dream one way, you want your life to go, and then it goes left, and then it goes right, and then it goes all 360. So, you know, you never know how it ends up. But I'm glad that I eloped. It was the best thing that I could ever did. Of course, I want to have a new, you know, vow renewal, and you know that type of thing to have my, you know, family and friends and everybody a part of that type of setting. But I don't regret that I didn't have a big wedding, you know, because one, it was a financial thing that I was dealing with, and that's things that happen in life. You know, you get set back. I had a basement flood, and that set things back. So you know, you can't go off of what you really wanted to happen. You just got to go off of what God said. And to this day, 6 years later, you know, 6-7 years later.
It's been 6 years. Yes.
We still fully going strong. I'm not gonna say if, you know, we have our days, you know, and then we're the same sign. So, you know, we hear that saying, that old saying, oh, you the same sign, you gonna butt heads, we both Capricorn. So, but we never had problems, and I'm not gonna say never. Right. But we never had problems to that point to where it feared me to when I used to hear people say, oh, y'all the same sign? Oh, no, they bump heads a lot. You know, you hear that a lot, but things are going smooth. And then I like the fact that he matured, because when we first got together, even just being together before even thinking about being together, you know, we were just, you know, just him, you know, just trying to get his way out the streets and, you know, just trying to find a pathway. And he needed a woman. And that's one thing I like to point out. You know, even though you need some guys that's not saved, and, you know, they're in the church, but they're not, you know, all the way in the church. Just things you could speak life into your husband, or to your, you know, your boyfriend or soon-to-be husband, because that's one thing, like what my mom said about with me when I was in the streets. You know, just don't give up on your daughters. And I apply that to my husband. I'm not gonna give up on my husband, because he been there for me when I wasn't there for myself, and he encouraged me to keep going. Like when I wanted to give up, you know, just like a married woman. You know, with traveling with mama, and I'm like, okay, is this gonna put a friction in our marriage? She's like, no, baby, just keep doing your thing. And that's what really encouraged me to keep going with mama, because at first I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to slow up, just go back and get a corporate job and just get a regular 9 to 5. But he was really like, you know, just encouraging. He was like, just keep going, I'll respect you. I'm like, yeah, because I don't want to have to come home and then, you know, I'm out of town and I'm hearing, you know, woo, 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 woo. So you know, it's going to be a problem. But, no, he's a very mannerable, respectful guy. Like I said, his mother, you know, his mother was, you know, she didn't raise him, but, you know, he had that raised up in the right family. Excuse me, and, you know, just things like that. And, get some juice. But, no, I say, you know, just go go for your, your flow. Don't give up. Don't be hindered on, what other people say. Oh, he ain't that type. You're not equally yoked and all that mess. Leave it to God. Leave it to God. And if you see the red flags, once you going into your relationships and going, with the whole flow of how y'all like each other, how y'all vibing. And then another thing with church. Now, me and my husband, I was the type to never force church on him. When we first, started dating and getting together, I never forced church on him, but I kept throwing it out there like that. You want to come to church when you want that. Like when you start a relationship, you don't want to throw it out there and throw them off. Like, oh, she pushing me away. She was pushing church on me and all this. No, it's just about to see how his mindset is. If he's willing to be respectful enough to love you and to say, yeah, babe, let's go to church. Let's get the word in. Let's love on each other and love on God as well. That's the top notch for me. That's what made me even more, in love with him. But I would say don't give up, And yes, that is Capricorn, Anthony.
Okay.
Here's the question. My husband keeps pressuring me to bring another woman into our bed. Should I remain submissive to my husband?
No.
You just said that in front of Auntie Jacky.
I did.
I'm sorry. So you ain't gonna have that recorded. So
That right there.
But I
you know what?
I was about to.
Is this person supposed to be a saved husband or an unsaved husband?
Right.
I think that's what you got to look at. You can see when the people.
You can't bring other people in your bed.
You don't bring the Bible says that a man's bed is undefiled. So that means that with one wife, one husband, husband and wife, not husband and wife and man or husband and wife and girlfriend.
Right.
That ain't gonna work. And that is not even of God.
Well, if you want to keep your man, just go on and stick with your husband. And if you want to go ahead and find another woman, then that might not be for you.
Yeah.
But you should never, ever allow another woman into your bedroom. I don't care if you go to a hotel. But it's still considered your bedroom when it's you and your husband.
But I have heard that there are
Open marriages.
well, I hear that there, I don't know. So don't nobody out there say I said nothing.
Okay.
But I've heard that there are clubs where they meet and they're
Like swingers.
Swingers, yeah, swingers, and they agree. So if they agree to do that, then that's for them. That's not for me, and that's not. To me, that is not what God would have us to do. We say we're going to marry somebody and be with somebody. And the Bible speaks and tells you about being with somebody. And having one husband or having one wife. It speaks about that.
So I have a
That's great. That's great.
Somebody said
I say Colossians 3:18.
Oh, right. There you go.
Come on.
Wives submit unto your husband. Up to your husband. And don't say husbands or girlfriends. Okay.
So the question is, should you remain friends with your ex while trying to build something with somebody
No.
new?
How you gonna remain friends with your ex? How's that gonna work? How does that work?
So it's stupid.
When you say, I'm not saying it's stupid, but what I am saying, is, if you're trying to pursue having a relationship with somebody else, how's your ex, how does he fit in the equation?
I don't think it's stupid because unless the man is intimidated or if they say that they have a problem.
Okay.
Because honestly, I find the dopest friendship with my ex-fiance, Welton. I will talk to him about ministry, my career, and I'll get questions or answers from him that I probably can't get from somebody else. Now, if I'm dating somebody else and they say they have a problem with it,
right?
But if I know within that it ain't gonna tempt me, because it wouldn't tempt me. It's nothing.
Right.
We good.
But let's say that happens, though, Keith. Let's say that happens.
What do you do?
Let's say you find somebody, but your relationship with him was years.
Yeah.
Y'all been broke up years.
Yes.
With this person may be talking about they just had this relationship. So if they're talking about they just had this relationship, that's not going to work.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? Now, with you and Walton, that will work because you guys have become friends now. You're no longer, a fiance and fiance.
Right.
But you are now.
Yeah,
you buddies. You
right.
buddies. So he's the kind of person you can bounce off of.
Yeah.
You know, what you think about this? What you think about this person? What you think about this person? And you
Are you an idiot? I looked at you to not say nothing, and you gonna say, "Oh, do you want to bounce?" I hate you.
I think in your situation, I think that's I think it's honorable. Let me say that. And the reason I say I think it's honorable is because he's a pastor.
Yeah.
He's young. He's innovative. And so I think a lot of what he's going to tell you is what he probably has to experience counseling people at his church.
Yeah.
Young women and young men at his church. So he's a good person for you to have, to be a sounding board so you can bounce off of him. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think that with that situation is good. I think that with situations where, you know, we just broke up and now you're pursuing somebody else 6 months later, well, you know, maybe the person that you was with treat you better than the person you with right now. But you trying to work it out.
Yeah.
I done told y'all to quit trying to work it out. If he ain't right, he ain't right. He ain't gonna, you are not gonna change him. You're not gonna fix him.
Right.
Okay? So I think that in that situation, if it's somebody that's new, no, that's not gonna work. You know, because then there's always that thing. Well, who was you talking to? See, and let me tell you something else y'all do. I don't like phone. You know, you gotta lock your phone. Don't want nobody to see your phone. If you're going with somebody, you shouldn't be receiving no texts and stuff from somebody else.
Somebody can't see.
And somebody that you can't see. Hello. Because if
now, should I get more committed in my engagement, or do we do that when I'm going with them?
No,
I think. Okay, wait.
Know what you mean?
Yeah.
I think that you talking about the texting part.
Like, I'm basically trying to figure out if I'm talking to somebody, am I guilty for still, you know, just having other guy friends and seeing? That's what I think.
Until you get that one double lock.
I'm serious.
You know, you date.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Wait. No. But wait, I think at a point, if you're exclusive and you
That's what I'm saying. Y'all didn't let me say it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I think because I'm reaching a older age.
Yep.
My thing is,
You know
we're
what
not
you are.
exclusive until we get like engaged.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
But now, hold on.
I'm just making.
Hold on. Before you're engaged.
Well, no, I think it depends on how. Exactly what Nikki just said. It depends on how you. Yeah, it depends on how you treat me. Like, if I can see that you just automatically have a clean life, because again, we're just dating.
Who's that?
And so,
Zitty Kitty.
and so my thing is, hey, and so my thing is, I'm saying I don't want to make myself a wife to anybody else anymore unless we're actually talking marriage. And I'm actually, the only time I'll say it's exclusive is when I say, or we're talking about a ring.
Right.
I don't want to
And that's what you're supposed to do, baby. That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, but here's the question. When are you there? Because what if you doing like Nikki said, you double dutching, and then all of a sudden one of them
No, but
say,
you don't know what it's saying.
all of a sudden you stop double.
I don't know. I'm just saying I ain't playing that game no more.
It's not a player and it's not an HOE. It's just finding that one that's going to fit all of your needs and give you all of your heart's desires of addition to God. You know, that's basically what you're looking at. And when I play around with everybody when I say double dutch, because that's what I did.
When I'm saying no,
that's just basically how you look at it.
But when you're just in the beginning, that's cool. But it's like, if you're exclusive, at what point do you start shaving off?
I'm shaving it off when I feel like you for real.
I gotta say something here. I gotta say this on behalf of what Kierra just said. I think it's really important that, because we don't want to give people the wrong conception. I think it's real important that if you have come together and you agree that you are an item, that you are going to be exclusive one to another. If you're going to be exclusive to each other, then there should not be other dating.
Right.
Now, if you're not going to be exclusive to one another, if you're just testing the waters or whatever, then you continue to date. But if you are going to be exclusive, or if you saying we're exclusive, but we're still gonna date other people, then establish that. Don't assume that.
I think that's the exclusivity that I would declare.
So I think that's the
facial expression.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that's
Because
what's
you gotta see
important.
all the packages. You gotta see how.
Right, because he may feel the same way you feel, Key. He may feel just like you. I really, you know, I really think I love her. And don't y'all be saying the love word either. Okay, but I really think that I really love her.
They say
but
that.
I gotta be sure.
Yeah.
So you know what? They say that. They say they love you
When they try to lay down,
when they want you to see. They trying to reel you in.
No, but let me tell you something. If you reeled in that easy, then something wrong with you.
Uh-oh.
Because love ain't just a word. Love is a sign too. And love is action.
That's right.
Okay? So when love is action, then I got to see some behavior that's going to symbolize love.
Are you gonna see what?
Breach.
You gotta see some what?
So what?
You got to see some action.
Some behavior.
And some behavior. And the behavior.
No.
And that behavior. Do it again. Some behavior.
Yeah.
And see, the behavior is that his whole persona, his whole everything about him is, I got to show her that I love her.
You better show it. Show me.
I don't want you being with nobody else. Because if I love you, I don't want nobody else having an edge on me loving you. And I don't want nobody else to do more for you because I said that I loved you. I don't want nobody else to be able to have a head up on what I got because you're going to be my prized possession. I'm just trying to find out if this is him. I'm trying to find out if I'm going to be your prized possession. Everybody say prize.
Say prize. Everybody say prize.
I'm telling you, you better quit letting them taste the milk. And not by the cow, okay?
What about it?
And not by the cow.
Oh, I thought.
Okay?
Somebody said, ask Auntie Jacky her opinion on dating someone in another religion. Is it okay or not?
I dated a man in another religion. When I met your uncle, he was a Jehovah's Witness.
Really?
She turned him out. You better turn him out.
But he still believed in Jesus. They just didn't believe in the number.
The thing is, they say what?
I thought Jehovah's Witnesses still believe in Jesus. They just don't believe in the number. That number, like they think it's a smaller number.
Okay, let me tell you something about Jehovah. This is what I know about what Jehovah's Witnesses.
What
I
else?
know that
Besides that, they don't believe it's a heaven. They don't believe it's a hell.
they don't believe it's a hell.
They just believe that it'll be a new earth.
Yes.
But isn't it going to be a part? Well, let me not convert you.
Let's don't do that.
The point is, she flirted to convert. That's what she did.
This is the thing. Now we're going back to where you were.
I want to hear.
We're going back to where you were. When we're talking about somebody loving somebody, and he liked me because I was not like anybody else. He kept pursuing me, and I told him, well, I can't date you because I'm saved and filled with the Holy Ghost, like he knew what the Holy Ghost was. Well, he didn't. But what I did was I kept living in front of him. So he would ask me out on dates, and I would go out on a date with him, but that would be it. It could be nothing more than that because I would tell, my mama told me, you can't date nobody that in the Church of God in Christ, honey. You can't date them. Well, of course you know that's not true today. That is not the way life is today. Of course, that was 43 years ago. But what I think what really captured him with me was I talked to him about the Lord. I told him what I believed in, and I told him, just try it. I said, just come to my church. But see, you have to understand what about Jehovah's Witnesses. They don't go to nobody else's church.
Yeah.
Okay? And him and his family was studying with the Jehovah's Witnesses, and they were going to the Kingdom Hall, is what they call it.
Kingdom Hall.
And so what happened was when he went away to school, he had a chance to see that, okay, well, maybe I could go out with her. And when he started talking to me, and I would tell him, you ain't getting nothing here. Ain't no candy here. Okay? Ain't none here.
Ain't no candy here.
Ain't none. Ain't none here. So even in all of that, he became very quick because we started talking about the Lord. I told him what I believed in about the Lord. He told me what he believed in. And then when he started telling me, I said, well, that don't make sense. When he started telling me stuff that they were studying, things that they were, going over in the watchtower thing, and I started saying to him, and what really kind of turned me off with it was when he was saying, that they don't celebrate birthdays, they don't celebrate Christmas. Well, then that's all godly to me because see, Christ was born at Christmas time, not necessarily the date of Christmas, but we celebrate it because it's the birth of our Jesus Christ. So even with that being said, me talking to him about that and telling him, well, this is what we believe. Then I went, and at that time I was very heavily involved in YPWW at my church. So, and these young people, willing workers. When I started talking to him about that, then because he was real brainy. He's real brainy. So when I started talking to him about that,
real what?
Brainy. He's real smart. And so and because of that, he would say, well, let me read it. I said, well, let me give you some books to read. So I would give him stuff to read, and he would come back and start asking me questions. And then when I got to a question I didn't know, I had to call Mama. Mama, well, he asked me this, and then and when he did that, he became more inquisitive. He said, I'm gonna come visit your church. And so what I did, I wouldn't go with him because I didn't know if he was just going to my church just to get me. Okay?
That's another thing.
And that's the other thing. I didn't want him to come to my church to get me and then not want to go to church no more.
Right.
So I had to live in front of him to let him know that this is what I live. This is not something that I talk about. Because Manny Clark taught us that what you sing about on that stage, you better live it when you step off.
Right.
If you're not going to live it when you step off, then you shouldn't be singing it. Because you don't want to make nobody life go astray because of something that you've done.
Right.
So with him, I kept it real. I kept it real. I remember one time he took me to see the Ten Commandments. And there was no place to park.
So by then he was taking you to see the stuff.
He was taking me. He went to the movie. He took me to the movie. And when he took me to see the Ten Commandments, it was at the Fox Theater. I'll never forget it. But there was no place to park because it was like the first night. So you know how it is on the first night, no place to park. So he took me to so he couldn't find a place to park, but there was a hotel. And he parked in this hotel. I said, I'm not sleeping with you. I don't know what you're doing. I'm saving through the Holy Ghost.
Did you snap? You snapped.
And he looked at me and he said, I could take you and let you drop you off, but I didn't want to leave you by yourself. He said, this is the only place to park. That's what I did. He said, I'm not trying to do anything. I was crazy.
So, did you fall in love before he got saved?
Let me tell you, I met my husband for the first time in 1970. I was coming home from Bishop Morton's church midnight on New Year's night, and we had a flat tire. Me and Gwen Morton was together. Gwen Morton is the reason why I know my husband. Because
thank you, Auntie Gwen.
I roll my window down. He has a window up like this, and so.
This has been her hat, her window, and what else?
He followed me off the freeway. So me and Gwen, I said, Gwen, he probably gonna try to rape us.
Oh my God.
So he got out his car. So I pulled over because I couldn't go no further. I was on Illinois. So I pulled over, and he pulled over behind me. I said, oh God, Gwen. So when he came to the window, I rolled my window down like this, just a little bit. I looked at him and I said, yes. He said, you have a flat tire. I said, duh.
You get smart with him?
Yeah, I did. And then he said, well, if you have a tire, I'll change it for you. I said, you will? And he said, yeah. He said, and you guys can sit in my car and I'll keep the heat on while I change your tire. It was snowing.
Oh my God.
I love
and he got on his knees and changed my tire. After that, so Gwen, he said, well, the only thing I'm going to ask you for when I'm going, okay, now you gonna rate me, you crazy. So he said, the only thing I asked for is a phone number. And so I said, okay. So normally when people ask me for my phone number, because we were the Clark sisters, normally when people ask you that, I would give. Well, I can't say this because I don't want y'all to still have the opportunity to do that. But what I would normally do is say, I would give them somebody else's number. So Gwen said,
doing that.
Right, that ain't nothing. You say 999, never mind.
no, but look, so Gwen said, no, Jacky, he's really nice. You should give him your number. So I gave him my number. So that happened in 70. No, I'm sorry. That happened in 68. In 70, he was away at school. And I got a job working at Arnold Home on 7 Mile. And when I got my job working at Arnold Home on 7 Mile, his mother was a nurse. And I met his mother. And so I was working one day, and so I was a nurse assistant. So I was working, and I said, oh, yeah. He walked up to me, he said, is your name Jacky? And I said, yes. He said, you don't remember me? And I said, no.
Oh,
Attitude.
no.
Y'all need to move
Changed
this.
your tires in the snow, ma'am.
That's exactly what he said to me. And when I saw him,
Do you have Uncle Glenn in you?
I know
this
about
is the
that.
thing. When I saw him, when I saw him, and I was being ugly.
That's so ugly.
I was being mean. But when I saw him that day, I really liked him. I was really attracted to him. So I waited. We took the bus home together. So I got off on Outer Drive because I would walk. And he had to take the bus to Livernois. So we got on the bus. I waited for him. I missed 2 buses. How do you say 2 buses? I missed 2 buses waiting on him to ride with him. And I rode with him. And then he when he graduated from college, when he went away to school, he would always call me. And that's how we started talking about Jehovah's Witness. That's how I found out what he was studying. The good thing about it, I never slept with him. And the thing of it is, when he got ready to graduate from college, you know who he invited to his graduation?
Who?
Me and his godmother, Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks was my husband's godmother. And so when he got ready to graduate from University of Michigan, he took me and Rosa Parks and his mother.
That is beautiful.
Rosa Parks was my daddy's godmother.
Yeah, she used to take care of you.
Would you like to go read the book?
Now, but I think my whole thing with that is if you got to make a man desire you. He's not going to desire you if he can
Just off twerking.
Yeah, he too.
Mindset for men is different, like as far as commitment is concerned. Men back then wanted to get a girl to be their girlfriend,
right? Back
then. So, like, what do you think about like the mentality as far as
the mentality today is because of how women have changed and how women
so
are.
it's our fault?
I'm not saying it's your fault. What I am saying is that men gauge their approach by the women that they date. Mm-hmm. That's how they gauge your approach. So they gauge you by previous relationships.
So they look at they think you might like.
Yeah. And y'all set the pace for that. So when y'all do things that y'all shouldn't do, when you get in situations that you shouldn't be in, or you dibbling and dabbling over here, you dibbling and dabbling over, and then you want somebody to think that you're this wonderful person, and you're not.
Be singing for Jesus in the pulpit and twerking that night and stuff like Nikki! Okay, let's say it's like a lot, but that's the truth, though.
It is.
It's the soul is what's gonna get to the man's heart.
You see, so let's get to the other part tonight, and that is The way to a man's heart really is through food, to his stomach. And I'm telling you, one of the things about my husband that he really appreciated about me is that I could cook. And I've always been able to cook because I was taught to cook at a very young age. So I think that it's important that, and this is the reason why I'm enjoying doing this with you guys tonight is because I've always wanted to have a cooking show and I've always wanted to do this. Back before we had the fire at our church, before the building burned down, I wanted to run classes in there for young women who wanted to learn how to cook. So it's real important that you do know how to do domestic things. It's important. Mm-hmm. It's important that when you invite a man to your house, that your living room don't just look good, but your bedroom look good too.
He's not going in there.
You don't have no business going in there, but if he should have to go to the bathroom, you got to go through there.
Right.
Your bedroom should not.
You got to go use the porta potty.
There you go. You go outside and pee. You go pee outside.
I'm really trying to do the right thing, though, guys.
You're not going to
What I'm saying is, because we live we live in a 2-story house. So your downstairs is all clean and everything. But if your bathroom is upstairs and they gotta go upstairs, and your bedroom is a hot stinking mess, come on now. These are things that we really have to think about. If you are chaotic, if you live in chaos, you think chaos. Okay? I'm telling you.
Do you think most of the problem of our women today, because of mentioning learning how to cook,
she's so dumb.
how to clean, do you think most of our problem is because of the fact we don't have the people to teach us that? Like, our young women are becoming mothers so quick, and their grandmothers are becoming grandmothers are becoming younger. So the having a wisdom, a wise woman.
Absolutely.
I don't want to say, a wise woman to teach us those values, because even though I was born down south and eventually moved up here, my mother still shipped me to Arkansas with my grandma.
She shipped you?
Every summer.
She shipped you? Like, who is that? Who put in the river?
Even with that.
Is you Moses' ass? Mama.
So with that being said, though, so you appreciate them. See, the thing is that so you have young women having babies, becoming mothers, who still really haven't grown up.
Yeah.
So they're learning to grow up with their children.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So to me, it's important that you learn how not to live chaotic, but you got to get a pattern. I remember when I was coming up, you know who I was going to be all my life? I said I was going to change my name to Loretta Young. Has anybody seen does she come? She's still now on the Decades station. She comes on. Loretta Young. She was always beautifully dressed. She was always a helper. She was always trying to help somebody. And that lady kind of helped set the precedent in my life as a child. I remember when I used to play with paper dolls. My paper doll name was Loretta Young. And so when you look at that, I looked at how everything was with her. Whenever you saw her on TV, everything was immaculate. Nothing was out of place. And so I kind of just patterned myself after that. Even with my mom. My mom was an immaculate person. Everything had to be in place. Everything had to be color coordinated. And we didn't have it where you could just live like get up out the bed and not make your bed up. Get up out the bed and leave up, and your clothes from last week is on the floor. I shouldn't come in your room and see your clothes from last week on the floor. Your drawers on the floor. I shouldn't see that.
Well, I have a pile in the closet on the floor that I put on.
Well, I think just put it in the hamper. Don't see it when I walk in.
Smile, the question, do you think that the problem is the lack of role models?
I don't think that they lack role models. I think it's the role models that they choose.
Exactly.
See, when you choose somebody,
Y'all want love and hip hop, and your life turning to love and hip hop.
That's not Julia Childs.
Yeah.
So I think, and then you know what? And then it depends on the man. Like you look at the man. If a man is with a woman, and I can say this from somebody that I know, if a man is with a woman, now the man is a very neat freak, and then he gets with somebody who's sloppy and slouchy and don't care how they look. If a man gets with somebody like that, and that person, you stay with that person long enough, guess what? Remember I told y'all that when the husband and wife stay together so long, they look like what? Sister and brother? Yeah. When a man stays with somebody who's slouchy and don't care about nothing, guess what's gonna happen to him?
He gonna start looking.
There it is.
My pastor said if
What? No.
my pastor says if you're walking with 9 fools,
I love
then
it.
what does that make you? It makes you the 10.
Exactly.
If
Right.
you walk with 9 fools,
Right.
that makes
You
you the 10.
and that's true. And so you have to learn how to pick your role model. Who is your role model? Does your role model have any of the desires in your life, in your heart that you have? Does your role model have the ambition that you have? Does your role model have initiative? Does your role model want to be somebody that want to live their life and be married to somebody, but not have to be able to depend on that person to complete you? You got to have your own life to complete yourself.
Right.
I'm a nurse. I don't ask my husband for money, but if I need money, he gives it to me. But guess what? I get my own paycheck, because when I want to buy something,
That's right.
if he's taking care of me and taking care of the household, and I want to buy me something, why would I put more strain on him for him to buy for me when I can take my fat tail to work and and get it myself? If I say it, man.
But wait, she said it
That's good too. 'Cause
I mean,
we still got the statistics.
You gotta work
Chicks
together.
thinking that they ain't gotta work. They gotta
Exactly.
let their man take care of them. No, you got
See,
to
let me
work
tell you
too.
something.
'Cause
It's
if you
what-
gotta bust up on them, you gotta have your backup.
Listen.
But this is the thing. When you become totally dependent on a man taking care of you, and you not working it together, then what you tell that man is this. This is what you tell the man now. Y'all hear me what I'm finna say.
Okay.
When you get with somebody and you let them make all the decisions, they will give you the money, they tell you when to spend it, they tell you how to spend it, they tell you when to go to the store, they tell you when to come back, they tell you to call when they get to the store, they tell you to call when you're on the way back. That man is controlling you.
And it is.
Okay?
What advice do you have for someone who's in a controlling relationship?
Get
or
out
something like
Get
that?
out of it.
But no, but besides that, because we've seen that in the church, like
Even in the church. But see, the thing you have to remember is that when you marry somebody, what you do from the inception is going to be how that's going to be laid out. Because if you allow yourself to get in a situation where you're being controlled, you're not going to be able to walk away from that. Because you created that. Whatever you start out doing, that's what you're going to do. You in bondage, and that's the right word. You're going to be in bondage.
I think a lot of that is
between
a lack
control
of
and
vision.
submission.
A lack of vision.
Absolutely.
I was in a controlling relationship, abusive relationship, physical, sexual, emotional. So I think it was harder for me to get out because I lacked the vision. Because I was young when I got into it. I was 19 years old, 17, 18, 19 years old, or whatever. And it was a 10-year span of this relationship.
She stayed
I
in it.
had no vision whatsoever to want better for myself. No vision to see myself better than where I was at the moment, because we had went through so much together. So to wake up one day and say, you know what, I do deserve more. To wake up one day or to finally join a church that gave me a good word.
Yeah.
So that I deserve better. What I was to God, beautifully, wonderfully made. What we forget, beautifully, wonderfully made, we forget that part. So we stayed in this situation, this relationship, because this dude has so much control because he lacked vision. And I had parents, I had the role model. It's just something, life happened, and I lacked the vision to stay.
That was the journey that you chose at the moment. The bad part about the good part. There's two things about I want to say to you about that. The good part about it was you had an epiphany.
Yes.
Once you have an epiphany of I do deserve better than that.
Yep.
Then the next thing you have to do is strategically learn how to walk away.
Yes.
Because sometimes when you're in a controlling situation, you can't just walk away. Because they will threaten you, they will try to kill you.
Yeah.
So you have to strategically understand that you can't just get up and walk away. But you have to strategically, create a plan of action for yourself. And don't tell nobody.
And you're right. That's exactly what I did.
See?
It was when he was away, he was in the army, and it was perfect.
He was in the army?
You're not coming home. So guess what? Call my brother and say this is the day that we gonna get my
There you go. She got the plan.
And I got it all, and some of his too.
See? That's okay.
Right, girl.
And laugh.
Get some money too.
But you got out of this situation. See, baby, the thing that I want you to understand is the most important thing for you was you had an epiphany that you were better than what you were a better person than you were allowed to be made to think that you were. And then we can. That's why I tell y'all, don't let a man define who you are.
Listen.
Don't do that. Always be independent. Always be independent enough to want your own. If you live in a situation where the man is your life, if he's your life, then anything he do wrong, right, or indifferent, you're gonna go, you can, that's right, you stupid.
Yeah. Here go another question, Auntie, and then we can close out. It says, celibacy is hard. How does one stay focused on doing right while trying to honor the Lord? Sometimes the temptation is loud, and no matter how hard I pray, I can't silence the urge or thought.
I think with that, to me, this is me, because this is real life. In real life, you have to find a way to deal with it. You have to find your own way of dealing with that. And I think it's really important that you have a devotional time. One thing about me, like when I'm in devotion, my whole concept of how I think changes. Everything about me changes when I get into devotion with God. When I'm feeling like when a person is feeling that way, they need to pick up the Bible or get some good books to read about God and about a single living and about women who have been through what you're going through right now. Those are things that will help you get through the situation. But I think more importantly, the other thing to that is you gotta be a praying person. I don't know nothing else to say about that because that was my life. It was learning how to live saved, whether I wanted to be saved or not. I had to do that. So you have to put in your mindset two things, and these are the two things before we close out. I want to say the two things I want to say is you got to learn how to love yourself. Nobody else can love you more than you love yourself. When you love yourself enough to say, I deserve better. I am somebody. I'm beautifully, I'm wonderfully made. God created me, and He didn't create me with no chains on me. He didn't create me with no locks and with no earphones on my head where I cannot hear. He gave me eyes to have a vision.
That's good.
And when we have a vision yourself where you want to be 2 years from now, 4 years from now, 6 years from now, 10 years. Where you at?
Help us.
Where you at? Find something that can get you up out of that situation. Don't wallow. And when you let me tell you something. When you make a mistake, and you're gonna make mistakes, that's a part of life. When you make mistakes, be big enough to say, you're right. I made a mistake. I shouldn't have done that. But I appreciate God for getting me out of it. I appreciate God for allowing me to be able to see that it was a mistake that I made, and I got a second chance to do better.
Yes.
But the only thing I'm gonna say, if you don't do better, you ain't got nobody to blame but yourself.
Yeah.
Right. You said
That was great.
that's it. Now let's cook. Come on,
This was
put
fun.
some food on.
No, we gotta keep going a little bit. Let's keep the cameras on and cook and talk in between.
So this okay. So now. Okay, so what you want to do? What do you want to do first?
He said, don't let nobody leave without leaving the offering.
Right.
That's right. Take up an offering from me.
You know what? We could have paid money for us like Christ used to. This is free.
Okay, so I think what we need to do now is just why don't you try to set the camera up so that you don't have to hold it. Let's
Can you hold this or you about to cook?
Federo just tried to calm me so we can end up.
What he say?
No, I can do it.
Tell him I said this was a girl chat anyway, but that's okay.
It's a girl chat.
Yeah, but I mean, what about up there, Kiki? Is that gonna be too high?
Just stop it and start over.
I gotta go.
Okay, look at my iPad. Everybody say bye. Get an iPad.
Okay, good.
We're gonna
I might not come back.
Here, do it on here. Can you will it stay?
Not if you're going in the refrigerator.
What about here?
Go up in the camera.
You pull it up on that.
Set it here.
Can you do it on top of that?
And we set it right there.
The microwave.
That's gonna be better.
Open the closet. I mean the closet.
You gonna go home?
Bye, ladies. Thank you for inviting
Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus.
It ain't nothing in here, right?
I love you.
Girl. It ain't nothing in here that you need, right?
Oh, that is perfect.
Yeah, like I said up there. Oh my God.
That is perfect.
She's been telling me those.
Are you good?
I think you can stand with my baby. See, I don't want to have
So we can go.
she knows she can come and stay with her. All right, then.
Bye, babes. I love you. I hope you enjoy it. I'll post pictures of the clip and videos.
Yeah, I can't get over there. It's gonna cut off. You know, the live be cutting off after a certain time.
It does.
Okay.
Cause I cut off before this.
So what do you want to do first? Tell me what you want to do first.
Cut the chicken.
Yeah.
Want to cut the chicken first?
Yes,
All right.
I brought her.
I'll just get whatever.
I brought her out.
You wanna play, Marcy? You can't reach it? Let me see you try.
I can reach it. I can do all these things.
Look at your feet.
Here, now, look at that. What's that? Did it boil down?
Yeah, it should be by now.
Okay. I said 2 packs. Angel, go downstairs and get some greens. Get 4 packs.
Okay, I'm gonna put this up so we can see from this angle.
Okay. Get a red. Get a duck.
You say, alright, is you fine?
Look.
Is you fine?
Look where I this time.
Are you getting upstairs? Hey y'all. How y'all doing? Y'all ready to cook with us? And kick with us? All right.
We need these kind of cashews.
Follower today. Now I'm gonna be a follower today.
All right.
Perfect.
This Sunday. Hey, y'all see my movie? Y'all funny.
All right. Now who got her chicken up?
I guess.
I'll get back on Periscope. Here, Nikki, talking to me. Mom, what am I getting?
This twerking. It's time.
They're twerking in your house.
No.
Wait, you got it, bro.
Oh, I forgot this one was over here, so they saw me like, that's what I had.
Right there. Angel.
What?
Pull up the orange ones. Yeah, there you go. Why you had me?
Oh, you eat healthy?
I did. Now I'm
Bye, Jordan. I'm home.
Bye, Jordan. Oh, you got.
We'll see you Sunday.
See you later.
Alright, love y'all.
All right, love you, babe.
Bye. Yes, have a
All right.
wonderful night.
Okay,
You
now
too.
this night. Bye-bye, Sean. Okay, look. This is now. You have to be really careful with this knife. It's extremely sharp. So you gotta make sure you get what you want. You know where gloves when you're doing it, and you don't get it. That's yours. This will be mine.
Is it that sharp?
Yes.
All right, so where's our
It's
list?
gonna cut your finger off. Put that in the drawer with you.
Where's our list?
I'm scared, Mom.
The list is right there.
Where was it at? In here? This one?
Yeah. No, just sit on top. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so now.
Nikki, you was talking good. You need to start you a talk show.
I'm speaking in. Maybe we can get something going there. Maybe we can get something going. Do y'all hear that? Do y'all hear that?
Well, like Lexi has
I gotta get comfortable with speaking like.
But see, that's because you're comfortable because you're with your family.
Right.
I gotta need to be yourself.
Right. But I gotta practice when I'm put on the spot.
Yeah. Okay, look at what I'm doing here.
Spot right there.
You know what I'm saying?
Right there.
How do you practice being up
Make sure that they
No, I'm saying I get on the spot. I gotta practice. Once I'm giving that cue to say something.
You did good.
I don't know if I want to, what? Cook the chicken. You know I'm
You not gonna cook? You gonna do that too? What?
cleaning.
That's all the heavy stuff.
you're gonna bad already.
Is it true that the chickens can't pee correctly?
I'm not worried about how they
They're not peeing in here.
They're not peeing today.
Oh yeah, you gotta do that because you missed Thanksgiving. I did Thanksgiving.
Be careful. These knives are really sharp.
You ain't but 2 things to clean. I'm gonna show you ain't got but 2 things to clean. You know, I done the first one.
Kierra.
Yeah.
So what you want us to go in the order?
No, what you can do is,
You got it down, yeah.
alright.
Why do they do it? But they do a little stuff. Especially Uncle Ricky's choir and Bishop Walker's choir.
Uncle Ricky's choir really do it. Uncle Ricky's choir they have a whole choreography.
Why everybody doing this? Hello, sirs. We're gonna have you for dinner.
Okay, and put a bag in there. What? Put a bag in there.
Did you finish
So these are the greens that I did, right?
Would you like me to watch them again?
I just want to make sure you see that.
Okay, but we left it at Thanksgiving. Yeah.
So what is this?
Just bring the top forward.
What is this? So I think that's what it is.
Oh my God, it looks like
Okay, so now, first thing you're going to do is you're easy to cut the chicken.
So in the middle, right?
No, it's only 6 cuts that you're going to make. 7.
How many? 7, 5, 6, 7.
Did you want to record this?
Different numbers.
So I just cut off the fat. I don't like
Yeah.
Can anybody see her? Yeah, they see her over here. They see her on the
But
Kiki's phone.
it's gonna stay online. It's not gonna stay
Take
on
it,
my phone.
turn the chicken around. You can't be doing like that.
Like you said, you gotta do it again.
Alright, now, you want to cut this fat off. So pull all this fat off and just cut it off.
What is that now?
Cut it. See how sharp it is?
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now cut this. Okay, so now, first thing you want to do is, let's cut the legs off first.
Oh, God. Come on, Kiki. Kiki, why you go in there like that?
Okay, come on, now look at what I'm doing. You gotta grab the leg. Grab the leg, yeah. Okay, now, just look how I'm doing this. Good.
I'm stuck.
Now, no you're not. Oh, you're over too far. You should be over here. Like right there. Okay, now.
Why don't you come on the same side so you can see what she's doing?
Come here.
Instructions. Y'all not.
Okay. So now you already cut it.
Yeah.
So that's the one cut. So take your knife and cut around here. You get it out. Or you can just cut up under. Now don't get it out what I'm doing. I'll pull it out first. Oh, jeez. And then I just take my knife and cut like this. And then you go under. Always cut away from yourself. Okay? So you want to go around. This is the top. Now watch your feet now. Now you want to stop. This is where we're going. Here's the bone. Here's the bone. You still on there? Okay. Cut it out. You want to stay in
Is Mama here?
all right, now stop. Now go up under.
That's a standby. Why you doing that? That was the land. Yeah. Got it. There's a lot of cameras. I know. So I'm like, let me make sure you see it.
No. I turn around because I'm just angling for myself.
Well, I think I need to do this.
Okay. Go ahead. You cutting fat.
We need everybody else. This.
Okay.
We can just go and start. Is this?
What do I need to do? Okay.
We can do it off the list. We can just start.
I'm doing grain now.
Hey, we tearing this little Mexican apart.
You gotta watch your fingers, so your fingers are gonna be in the way. You gotta watch it.
You're gonna cut your hand up.
Go around that way. Now go around.
This way. Like the stuff that needs to be prepped. Do you want to do
There
it?
it is.
Okay.
And now,
So pack them up.
now, take the wing off. Up right in, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, cut in the armpit.
You gotta cut in the tip of his arm. I'm gonna cut my wing off. Okay, so listen what I do. Make one cut first, and you can see where you are. So you can cut right in there. So you want to go a little bit deeper. So right there. Wow, you're too far. You should be right here, too. Right here. About right here. Yep. You see me, Pat? You see where you are? Now come on. Okay, if you're hitting the bone, then you gotta go over some more. You gotta go over some more. start right here. You see where he is? You go right above it. Here. Now you can just come up under.